celebrate this Sunday the great solemnity of Christ, the King, it would be very easy to become confused and think that today's feast is about power or dominion or importance or fame, when really it is only about love. That we celebrate today the kingdom of God, which is the kingdom of love. And Jesus, in our readings, teaches us what is required for us to enter into this kingdom, which is our love, given very specifically to those most in need of it. But it's not just about the requirements for us in the kingdom. It's primarily about the leadership of our King, who gives to us in love, that his kingdom, his kingship, is his because of the love that he gives to us. It's his death and resurrection that we finish out the year with, the gift of his life for us, that makes this kingdom that we celebrate today, that makes him the King, that we both celebrate and are called to imitate today. And if this culminating Sunday of the year, this crowning of our kingdom, of our King, of our belief, of our relationship with God, if this is as important as I believe it is, then it shapes all of our morality as well. And the church gives us this gift of a biblical morality in today's gospel. Now, across the centuries of Christianity, we've also developed accurately and helpfully a sense of morality that's taken from natural law, from who we are, from what is true, from the implications of loving one another. And we find a lot of that written already in the Ten Commandments. But if you notice in today's gospel, when Jesus tells us of the requirements of the kingdom, of who will be included and who will be excluded, he doesn't mention any of the Ten Commandments. He mentions only concrete expressions of love. He mentions the love that we will offer to those who are hungry and thirsty and naked and strangers in our land, foreigners that we invite into our homes. He will talk only about how we love those who are imprisoned, who are ill, who are in need of our care. And this expression of love is our entrance into the kingdom. It's not to say that what we traditionally consider to be a moral life, that the demands of the Ten Commandments, which really are gifts that help us live more completely our lives, not that these aren't both essential and helpful, but they're different, right? That all of the other commandments of law that understand us, that understand humanity and come from how God created the world and what is true in our lives, the requirement that we not lie or commit adultery or steal, the requirement that we honor God, and the requirement that we honor our parents. Like, these are blessings for us. We are blessed when we live accordingly. But the love of the kingdom into which we enter, not a kingdom of power, not a kingdom with any coercion. Nobody will require us. The poor certainly cannot. The hungry cannot demand from us food. And our God, who will be found every time that someone is homeless or a stranger, every time that anyone is in prison or ill, he won't force us, because his kingdom is a kingdom of love. And invited to make Christ our King by offering our lives in love to those who most need it. And recognizing that at the core, not just of our morality, but of our identity as followers of Jesus, is this final exam, this last judgment, the judgment of the kingdom, whether or not we've chosen to be part of the kingdom and live our lives in love by feeding those who are hungry, by giving drink to those who are thirsty, by clothing the naked, by welcoming the stranger, by visiting the imprisoned, by caring for the sick. And as we look to our lives, not from the perspective of force or demand or punishment, but from the perspective of love, we're invited into a kingdom in which the love that our leader, our King, has poured out upon us, maybe in gratitude, we can share back to him when he becomes present in our lives, in those who are most in need of his love. There's a story that the French mathematician and philosopher Blaise Pascal's sister told of him after his death, that as he lay dying in his room, he very much wanted to receive viaticum, to receive Holy Communion for the last time. And various times they sent for the priest to bring him communion. And each time it was determined that he was too sick, that he wouldn't be able to hold down the sacred species, that he wouldn't be able to receive the Lord in communion. And finally he told his sister, he said, okay, well, if I can't receive communion, at least bring here some of the homeless from the street in front of us, so that I can die in the presence of our God. We're invited in that recognition and in that love and gratitude to enter into a relationship with Christ the King, who's given everything for us and invites us into that relationship of love as we care for those most